and just air some rants about this gender identity ideology that seems to be staging a covert hostile takeover of womanhood without anyone in the mainstream realising exactly what's going on. It's brilliant the way that they've done it. It really is. They've borrowed strongly from the big lie method. If you haven't heard of that, it's the one that was pioneered by Hitler and Goebbels as a way of basically pulling, like tricking the masses, you know, into believing something that's blatantly and demonstrably false in order to achieve an end goal that is, you know, not going to be beneficial to a certain group within that population, within our culture. And unfortunately, the target for this is women. And it's brilliant. It really is brilliant the way they've done it. When I first started learning about the gender identity, when I first came across it and started going, what is this real? Is this actually happening? Yeah, it's happening. And the more you look into it, the more you research it, the more you read, the more you go on Twitter, the more you engage with these people that are pushing this ideology and this agenda, the trans rights activist movement, the more you see the reality of it, and it's not a pretty reality. But the thing is, the more you speak out about it, the brilliance of their whole strategy is that you're painted as the bigot, because you're saying you're challenging their ideology, and no one's allowed to challenge this ideology. It's like, you know, people call themselves atheists and say that they don't buy into Christianity and shit, and yet they'll be buying into this trans rights activist like ideology, and they'll be just blindly backing it and advocating it and challenging anyone that goes against it and calling them like TERFs. You know, do you realise that the last time that happened, it was like there was Jews, you know, during the Holocaust, there was I mean, in the Middle Ages, there was the persecutions. TERF is the new witch. TERF is the new cry of fucking witch. And people just aren't seeing it because they're blind and they're being taken in by this whole surface facade of inclusivity and warm fuzziness, and let's all just, you know, don't kick on the underdog, you know, give them a little break. But the thing is that the trans rights activists and the transgender people that are pushing this are not underdogs. They're males. They're privileged, socialised male people with penis that just want to that basically want to colonise all of women's spaces. You know, it's like how, and women who weren't consulted about this, they weren't consulted about the redefinition of what woman means. It's trans women are women, no debate. Hang on a minute. There was an existing definition for that, and there was an existing group that used that definition to define themselves. That's women. We should have been consulted before this shit going on. What do you mean? How's your balls going no debate when you come into this? No, mate, no. You don't get to go into a group of people, say, I'm now one of you, no debate. Nah. You don't like it? Nah. You got any issues with it? No, you're a bigot, you're a TERF, you're a witch, mate. You know, you deserve to die. No, this is fucked, man. And I can't believe that people aren't seeing it for what it is. Because the more I see it for what it is, the more I'm going to talk about it, the more I'm going to post about it, and people will call me bigot. But you know what? Ultimately, the truth will out. And the only thing that I'm worried about is the collateral damage at the end of that, because we're not on the wrong side of history. The women are the branded TERFs, mate, having a negative impact on so many areas, but it's subtle and people aren't seeing it yet. And the more we're crying out against it, we being, say, the radical feminists, gender critical people, people who actually do have the guts to speak out, because it's pretty hard to do it. You know, what with the death threats and being told you need to die a horrible death and get raped and chopped to pieces and buried, you know, because you dare question that these dudes with penises maybe, just maybe, shouldn't be allowed to go into a prison with female inmates. You know, like the one from last week, dude, transgender woman with penis intact gets put into a female prison, assaults sexually 4 women. And you know what? I have not yet on Twitter or any social media seen one person from this trans rights TRA fucking movement, like, group fucking condemn the fact that that dude did it. They're all defending the fact that, but you know, it's going to happen regardless. Why specify? Because it's a, why focus on the fact he had a penis? Because that's fucking relevant. You know? Oh my God. And you can spout like stats, and you can spout fucking science, and you spout evidence at them till the cows come home. They're not interested in that. They're just interested in pushing the big lie. Pushing the big lie, pushing